Real quick, if you guys missed watching Minecraft number 47 is actually up right now. It's about clarity. Otherwise, enjoy the Call of Duty commentary. The year 2012. I was just looking at those numbers earlier today. Just the numbers, nothing else. Not even like the calendar dates or anything like that. I was just looking at 2012. And it looks like something from the Jetsons. Just the letters themselves look like something that you'd see in a sci-fi book. It's just so crazy. Like, have you guys ever thought about just the numbers themselves? 2012. I mean, it's so crazy that we're in this year. Like, we're in 2011. 2011 doesn't look like too crazy because it's not an even number for some reason. I think like 11 looks more of like a Roman, like the 11s. They look like pillars or something. Like, they don't look, they don't have any curvature to them, so they don't look futuristic to me. But I was looking at the two numbers. 12, like 2012 is just so crazy. And I deduced, there's so many things coming out in 2012. There's the Mayan calendar ending, and people are like saying it's going to be the end of the world. And it's funny because if you look at the shape of the Mayan calendar, it's like round, so it means that it's a cycle. I don't get how people can think there's an ending to a circle. Where's the ending to a circle? It's so funny. But I was just like looking at the calendar like, oh man, like, oh my god, like this is crazy, like this is gonna be a whole new thing, not only just for the year itself, but for me. This entire year I've been going through so many changes this year. It's the year that I lost my job, and I changed pretty much, like, I'm changing careers. I'm in the process of changing. I'm actually at the crossroads right now. I'm at the crossroads between, do I want to continue to do what I'm doing in my field, or do I want to actually go into the field that I wanted to originally, which is game design? And the more I play games, the more I venture on YouTube, and the more I talk to you guys, the more I interact with people in the real world and in my career area, the more I start to notice like that I just want to go out on my own and see if I can do this alone. I want to see if I can work on projects, like huge projects, and just be able to have complete freedom, like not become a part of some company that is dictating everything that I do, not become a part of something that dictates my creative abilities, not something that I have to churn up things like nonstop. Now, I know that I will probably have to pay my dues to get to that point. I will have to do a lot of deeds for other people, do a lot of projects that I really don't have passion about, and I'm going to have to put myself in those situations, and I'm going to have to come out on top and become one of the best of those. But one thing I've learned, and one thing that I remember seeing about Picasso is one of my favorite people. He's like a role model for me. But Picasso, I was reading some Picasso quotes, and there was one that said, I was reading his story about his journey through art. And in the beginning, he has a quote. I think his quote says something like, "It took me 4 years to draw like Leonardo." Or to paint like Leonardo or something. I don't remember. It's actually, let me look it up. Let me look it up right now. Okay, the quote was, "It took me 4 years to learn how to paint like Raphael, and a lifetime to learn how to paint like a child." And to me, like, I see myself, I know Blade talks about the Peter Pan syndrome, and the Peter Pan syndrome for him is like never wanting to grow up and always wanting to be a child. And it really is true, because the older you grow does not take away things that are fun. Like, the feeling of fun is still the same compared to when you're a kid And when you grow older, you just recognize it the same. It's the same brain pattern. So you're always on the look for how to have fun, and it changes because your attitude changes about life. You become a little more salty, you become a little more bitter towards things, and you become a lot more stale towards life as you get older. But to backtrack and try and get fresh again, to try and get that fresh perspective of you, like being like a great person who just enjoys life for what it is, no matter where they are in their space, like a child does. For the most part, children are happy, unless they're being abused or something like that, something really bad. But for the most part, a child's mentality is usually they're excited, they're anxious for stuff, and they're just like so full of life, and they express themselves to their fullest. Like when they cry, they scream. When we cry, we weep, and we a tear rolls down our eye. We don't express ourselves as much as children do anymore. When you actually draw, you draw and you have all these things going on in your mind, like, am I gonna draw this shape right? Am I gonna do this right? Am I gonna be, if I do this well enough, am I gonna get paid for it? Or am I going to do this well enough that I could become famous for it? All these sorts of thoughts come because you've had a lot of experience going through. But another thing is you've gone through so much drawing that you have enough experience that there's a plus side to it, that you become actually, like, your hands become more, and your movements of your hand and your arm become a lot more attuned to drawing, and you become better at it. But your interpretation of it and the expression that you're trying to push, the passion, it's rare that you can keep the same passion that a child has when they're drawing in something that you're doing modern, a modern drawing or a modern thing that you're trying to do, because you just don't have it anymore. It's kind of like, I remember in kindergarten, every person in my room would say they're an artist. You could go into a kindergarten room right now and ask any of those kids, like, who in here can draw? And all of them will raise their hands, like all the kids. And they'll say, I can draw. And everyone will be excited. They'll even want to draw. They'll ask you what you want them to draw. And then they will all draw for you, and they'll all be excited. And, they're looking to see your reaction in return. And that's just the passion that they have, and that's something I've been missing from my life. And I've realized that this is what I really want, is to get that passion back. And that passion can be in gaming, it can be in any sort of expression it is, but I just want that back. And if you go into a middle school room and you go in there and you start asking, like, who can draw in here? And you start to notice the change, the difference in every child's opinion. Some of them, half of them will probably say they can draw, and the other half will say that they don't want to draw. And the reason they don't want to draw is because maybe a teacher told them not to color the sky green and the grass blue, because that's not what the color is. Like, it's so crazy, because they get turned off by drawing because they've been told that they've been doing it wrong the entire time, so they just don't do it anymore, and they lose that expression. And as they grow older, it changes. But this happens with everything in your life. It happens with the way you say certain words, the way you breathe, the way you react to things in life, the way you become angry. It becomes more, all the expressions in your life sort of die off. And then eventually when you get old, you don't give a shit anymore. You're just like chilling, because you've already fought your way when you were a kid to be, fully expressive, and then you went through society and you got conditioned to who you are. I just want that passion back. I want to be able to make whatever it is I'm doing, commentaries, videos, whatever it is. And for you guys that were mad about the last video that I posted, I appreciate your support, and I'm guessing I'm definitely going to do some more commentaries for you. So hope you guys have an epic day. Peace out.